out, let's see, all across the street. I lost my job in a machine shop that I was working at because they didn't have any more contracts, so they had to lay a bunch of us off. And I got a job with Chicken Mabel. Chris knows him. I think I remember him. And his uncle did all kinds of concrete work and cutting streets in with bulldozers and all that. So I got a job with him. I started out messing with pouring curbs for sidewalks and all that kind of stuff. And he, this fellow retired that took care of the machines. I always liked messing around with machines and stuff. And I took his job over. Used to have to fuel all the bulldozers. Sometimes they were 40, 50 miles apart. You'd have to go here and there. And sometimes I'd leave, start at 7 o'clock in the morning, get done like 10 o'clock at night.
Wow.
And then I used to have to take care of it. We had storage tanks for our own trucks and the bulldozers and all that. And the guy would come in there and fill the tanks all the time. I got talking with him, and that was with Sinclair. And I said, how do they do hiring guys and all that stuff? Well, in the meantime, I had learned moving all the trucks. I used to move the trucks around, the bulldozers and stuff with these low bed trailers. And so he was telling me, he says, come on up, put an application in. You know, you can do it. He said, we worked only in the wintertime, unless they didn't put you on studies right away or nothing like that. You had to work there until somebody died or retired or something like that before they never put you on. And that's how I got started in it. And I went up there, they Camden, to the terminal and put in for driving fuel oil. And I was there for 4 years doing that, only in the wintertime.
Yeah.
As soon as the summertime come, you had to go find something new because they lay you off. And I drove for Supply Milk Company in Camden one summer. Had to go to Philadelphia all the time and to their big plant over there and bring back all kinds of chocolate milk and stuff like that, all kinds of milk. And then after being there for 4 years, nobody was retiring yet or anything, and
Nothing. Not.
I was working in the summertime for a cement company, and I used to haul fly ash from Wilmington, Delaware, up to the Westville, New Jersey, and got talking to the guys there and stuff. And then somebody that knew me from up there, they liked the way I worked, and they told Exxon about me. And they called me and asked me to come in for an interview, so I went down there. I didn't even have my application in there. This was in the summertime. And the guy I took his place, he was going to work one night, and I got to know him real well. He lived right across the street. In fact, he lived with my mother for a short time. And he was on his way to work, and he was late, and he was going 110 down 295, and they took his license away for 6 months.
Oh, whoops.
So I moved right in there. And
And that's history.
That is how things happen.
and that's how I got into Exxon. But then I had the same thing. All the oil companies and stuff had the same type of operation, and you had to wait for till somebody died or retired or whatever. So I worked there 1 year, and they got an opening, and I just moved to Haddonfield that year. It was 1959, and they said, we got an opening for you in Atlantic City. So we had little plants all over, up North Jersey, down Cape May and Burlington, I don't know. They used to go in places at nighttime and had to unlock all the things and turn all the pumps on and all that stuff to load my truck and then go out and do the delivery at the, but let's see, I worked there the 1 year, and then they asked me if I'd go to Atlantic City. I said, no, I'm not going to move to Atlantic City. So I only went, I guess, one winter that I was laid off for a short time. I was back on again. Next spring, and they put me right on gas. They always, for about 5 years, I guess, or seasons altogether, when delivering fuel oil house to house, just going from people's houses and stuff. You have to learn the route and whatever. When I got back in on gas, that's what I was on from then on.
Yeah.
We used to work 8 hours back then, 8 hours at night, then 10 hours in the daytime. And every other week it shifted from one to the other,
Yeah. Back and forth. Wow.
Yeah, they used to hate to see Sunday night come. When you get done like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, you had to be back at 6 o'clock.
Oh gosh.
For to go on the
To
run
switch.
To switch to the others.
on the day shift.
Wow.
Well, you finally got to where you're just working 4 days a week, right?
Oh yeah, well, this happened after that. They set up a whole new thing and said, we're going to have study night shift, study day shift, 10-hour shifts, 3 days off a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah,
That's-
I like that.
Yeah, that's better.
What was your scariest,
Well-
almost got injured driving around story?
I don't know, I never got injured that bad, but I had some real close ones.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. What was your close ones?
I guess the worst one I can remember, I was coming back up Route 70 from down the shore, and there's a road that came out into the highway, 70 coming up, and this here one came out from Mount Holly that comes down and into it. And it's about, I don't know, it was 1 o'clock in the morning, something like that. And this guy's coming down there. I see this, it was raining. I'm rolling on about 55 going up. And I get from here to the door, and he pulls right out in the middle of the highway.
Oh my gosh.
There's a guy and a woman, and I hit the brakes and went into a jackknife almost. And I didn't go all the way, and all I could see was them people being dead there, because the trailer's out like this, and here's their car right here, and I yanked the trolley brake down and left the other brakes off on the trailer, and it straightened it right out, and I went across the road and into the grass on the other side of the road and straightened out. That's the worst one I can remember.
Wow.
But I had
A lot of things could have gone wrong there, right?
Those people
Oh,
are
yeah.
lucky.
Another
They-
car
they
coming
would-
the other way,
well,
or
No,
they would have been
no
dead.
other cars on the road.
well, that's what I'm saying.
You know?
It
Yeah.
could have
Yeah.
been like
No,
could have
they're
been
not.
a big pole.
Did they
or,
stop or did they just take off? The car?
They took off.
I bet they did.
They were probably coming off of a bar or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet they took off.
When I one night I was coming back from the shore, and I was in you know where Red Lion Circle is,
Mhm.
right near there, and it was about 2 o'clock in the morning, and this guy's coming down the other way, and he comes over on my side of the road, and he's coming right at me, you know. So I pulled off the road into the shoulder, like, and he still kept coming. He ran right into this front part of the truck, went right down the side, tore the whole side out of his car. And finally, when the state troopers got there, they checked him out. He was drunker than a skunk, and he was a Catholic priest. And I got pictures of his car yet in someplace around here. I remember seeing one not too long ago when I was going through the pictures.
That's funny.
Whoopsies.
Dipping into the communion wine.
That was one.
Well, you drank it all up.
And I'm trying to think of,
Any deers? Any deers run out in front of you?
I killed about 4 deer. I was going down right by Medford.
You make little marks.
There's another one.
Did you give them all different names? Donner, Blitzen.
Poor guy.
Goner.
I really felt sorry because
Oh, that was good.
he hit with that truck with all that weight on it. Ain't much left of him.
Wow.
That's the last one I did. Now I even hit one on my pickup one night going up to Tish's.
Wow.
And this guy, I hit it and
Oh, remember this one?
it wasn't dead. And I pulled off the road to see, to see what happened. He knocked one of my headlights out and broke some chrome off. But the guy stopped right behind me and was coming up the road. And he says, "What are you going to do with that deer?" I said, "I'm going to do nothing with him." "Why, you want to?" He said, "Yeah, and it's still kicking a little bit, and stuff." So he opened his trunk up, or his back door on the car, and put him right in the car. I thought,
Still kicking?
Yeah, wait, he gets down the road and that deer comes back to life a little bit. And
Starts thrashing around.
And we were going up to Tish's when she lived in, where was it she lived?
That's funny.
Is that in Elizabethtown or
No, you
No,
know.
the other-
Quakertown
Oh
or?
my God, years and years ago.
Mm.
Where,
I couldn't tell you where it is.
Jim?
Jim had the church there.
Well, Quakertown was one of them.
No,
He had
this was
he had a
before
few church-
Quakertown.
few churches.
Yeah.
The other town that they lived in, that they moved.
Doylestown? I don't remember. Yeah.
It was real neat because I like to go there. We could go to the. They had a farmers market up
Hey,
there.
you want to grab the cake right down and
Put a couple of candles. If you...
kind of
They had a real neat farmers market. We used to go there and buy broccoli and cauliflower and stuff and freeze it for the winter.